Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the special meeting of the Portland Water District Board of Trustees. We'll be having a public hearing on the water rate increase for 2024, effective January 1st, 2024. My name is Bill Lunt, and I serve as the president of the board and will be presiding over tonight's public hearing. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to provide information on the proposed water rate adjustment for PWD customers and to allow customers to comment and ask questions. The general manager will now give you a presentation for information on the proposed water rate adjustment. General Manager is Seth Kerrison.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. Very excited again to talk about our 2024 budget, and I'll go through that with you this evening. As you know, Portland Water District is a quasi-municipal independent organization, so we provide water services to 11 communities, over 210,000 people in Cumberland County, as well as 6 wastewater communities we provide services to as well, with 189 employees. Our annual budget is $60.1 million, and we have a book value of $578 million in assets. The mission of the Portland Water District is really to protect public health, safety, and the environment by providing high-quality, reliable, affordable water services, and water services collectively is water, wastewater services that we provide. We are putting forth a proposed rate adjustment for 2024 of an average of 6.4%, or roughly $1,851,280. For the customers, that's going to have variable impact depending on the size of the account. For most residential folks, that's about $1.52 per month. Commercial and industrial customers, it's going to be more heavily dependent on how much water is used, but you can see the typical commercial industrial customers on the chart, $637 per month for the typical commercial customer and $162.82 for the larger industrial customers that we have there. So what will we do with that amount of revenue that we're collecting? Many things. Inspections, education, land acquisition and preservation, protection, and conservation. So as we know, that we're one of the few unfiltered surface water supplies in the country, one of about 50 out of about 13,000. So we're very lucky, and part of being able to avoid filtration and extra treatment costs is to protect that watershed environment that we have. What else will we do with the money? The treating, pumping, distribution of drinking water, as well as fire protection are key services that we provide through roughly 1,000 miles of water mains in the system. We also have to maintain the quality of the water as well, too, and ensure that that's done through testing and maintenance of the systems. Of course, one of the big costs is reinvestment in infrastructure. We have infrastructure that goes back all the way to the 1860s. Pipe has a finite useful life, so we have to regularly invest in infrastructure per year. And if you can imagine a 100-year average useful life of pipe on 1,000 miles, that's a considerable amount of pipe that we need to replace per year for reinvestment, as well as other infrastructure that we have. On the wastewater side, we're really environmental stewards. We protect the rivers in Casco Bay. We have unique community partnerships that we have to protect those. We have 4 treatment facilities right now, soon to have a 5th treatment facility in the town of Windham. We have 120 miles of wastewater pipe, 77 pump stations, and a comprehensive industrial pretreatment program to ensure that industrial customers are monitoring what is being put into the wastewater system. How do we determine the adjustment that we need to make this year? We really looked at 2 factors, is how much revenue we need to operate, and then how much will the consumers use? Because our water rates are largely based on how much water is consumed by the customer. So understanding how much they consume is important in our calculations for how much revenue is needed to operate. And you can see here where our main areas are that we need for operating revenue. Capital finance is about 32% of the budget. Wages, benefits, 43%. And then other expenses, third-party expenses, are 25%, for a total of $30.8 million. In terms of capital projects, we have a number of different areas that we're having expenditures. Distribution system, water mains, valves, pumps, $11.250 million. Sebago Lake Treatment Facility, $910,000, and then SCADA instrumentation, other facilities, $1.2 million as part of our water capital plan. As far as sources of revenue goes, the bulk of our revenue comes from residential customers, although we have a large percentage that also comes from industrial customers, commercial customers, and public and fire protection as well, too. In terms of usage, you can see here the breakdown of how much water is used by category. The residential is the blue bar, and then the tan brown bar is commercial, followed by industrial or public. Those are the amount of water used by each of those different agencies and our different customer segments, and how much they reflect as part of our budget. How do we design the rates? Rates really have two components. There's a fixed minimum charge based on the meter size. So the larger the meter, the more expensive that is, which reflects the capacity of the system. Plus there's also a variable charge, and that variable charge is for the use of the water, how much consumption you do. And then there is a charge for fire protection systems, which is also based on the service line as well, too. So these are really the main charges that we have to collect revenue. And again, part of it is a fixed charge component based on the meter size, and part of it is a variable based on the amount that's consumed. Again, part of the fire protection charge is really based on hydrants that we have as well, too. That is not a consumption-based charge, so each community pays for the number of fire hydrants they have, and there is a cost per hydrant for doing that service. And that our system has to be designed around those fire flows as well, so that's part of the cost that's in the computations. Going a little bit further into the breakdown of the rate increase that we're looking at, you can see for residential customers, the average percentage rate increase is 5.9%. Again, about $1.52 for the average customer, where commercial and industrial customers are a little bit higher on that side. Government at 8.4, and then the private fire protections at 5.7% each, for overall of 6.4. Now you might ask, why are there differences? When we did a cost of service study and look at the actual cost of providing services, we found that the commercial and industrial customers were paying slightly less of their share than they needed to. So as we're making adjustments from year to year, we're trying to move some of the cost basis from the residential customers and increasing the industrial and commercial customers slightly more to try to get that cost of service in alignment with what the actual costs are. So that's why we have a slightly different increase level for the different customer classes. So again, how is this going to monthly impact customers? If you look at this chart, it will show you some samples. The average residential home has a 5/8 inch meter and uses about 700 cubic feet. You can see that the minimum charge is $10.87. And after the rate increase, that is going to go to $11.49. And then if you look at the usage charge there, the total difference goes from $27.19 to $28.71. And on the industrial meter, industrial side, we grabbed a sample 2-inch meter here with a representative 1,300 cubic feet. And you can see they're going from, before the increase, from $2,174.81 to $2,337.63. And the total dollar increases at the bottom, $152 again, and then for the industrial customers, $162 82. So again, you can see on this chart very clearly the fixed component of the charge as well as the variable water consumption-based charge and how that affects the total. Of course, everybody's going to consume different amounts, and certainly there's much more of a flow difference as you look at industrial and commercial customers than on residential. We also have a program for low-income rates as well too. This graphic shows the number of customers that we've had under those low-income rates. The program was originally established in 2008, and it's basically a monthly subsidy for eligible customers, and that was increased to $8.62 from $8.15, and really assumes a typical customer with a 5/8" meter. For those that are interested in the program, Opportunity Alliance helps us administer this program, and that's the contact information for them, for any customers out there that are interested in learning more about the program and seeing if they qualify. So in summary, a typical residential increase we're looking at is $1.52 per month. The additional revenue will largely go to water main renewal and other capital projects. And without that, the district would be running a deficit of $1,851,000 is what we're projecting. And with that increase, we will be able to meet our expenses and be able to allocate some additional money as well to future water main capital fund increases. And with that, I can take any questions that folks have. Here's the contact information if anybody has any questions or comments. When we put the advertisement out for this rate hearing, we did receive 2 comments. Both I would consider more in the range of questions than they were feedback. One of them was asking about our fees for using the credit cards and for other payment systems. Why are we having that? So we responded to that. And then the other one was, how would the impact affect an individual person's account? So, and we responded to that one as well too. But those were the only 2 questions that we received from the public, and there's nobody from the public here, so I can turn it over to the board if they have any questions as well.
Any questions from the board members? Yes.
I haven't used this before, so I can probably speak loudly enough. I did have a question. Someone asked me, how do we differentiate government from industrial?
So government are public entities that we have. Those are municipalities and other related things. The industrial and commercial are private businesses.
So like sanitary district in Scarborough would be government?
Yes. Schools, municipalities, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We don't have anybody from the public. Is there anybody online? And there's nobody online, so we can conclude the Portland Water District Board of Trustees special meeting. We'll move on to our workshop.